discussion I have with many victims of child sexual abuse is about their relationship with the predator. Now, as I've discussed previously, 90% of predators are known to the child. So we're talking about this scenario where a predator has been a family friend, a family member, an auntie, an uncle, a father, whatnot. And we openly discuss how we felt about that person. And it's very confusing for people to understand, but at the time of the trauma, we showed that we loved this person, that we were friends with them, that we cared for them, that we wanted to see them, that we wanted to have a relationship with it. And what usually we see is a victim will dissociate. They will disconnect themselves and the predator from their reality. They will pull them aside, and when the trauma is happening, they won't see them as their father, their friend, their auntie, their uncle. They won't see them in that light. We usually see them as, okay, something's wrong with this person. I'll just block it out. I'll just protect myself. Whatever happens, happens. And all of a sudden, when it's over, everything goes back to normal, and oh, that's my uncle, oh, that's my dad, and we're all in our back to normal scenario where we love, we're nurtured, etc. And a lot of people try and wrap their brain around how the hell did you go from being abused to automatically back into I'm playing games with this predator and I'm cuddling them and everything's all back to normal. But the reality is that is what happens. And I know a lot of victims out there will be like, oh fuck, I'm relieved that someone actually said that, because I did, and maybe I haven't even spoken out yet, and I still do feel like I look at them like they're still my father or they're still my uncle, and have this tie towards them because I believe that I still love them or I still have an emotional connection to them. Yet they've done this horrendous act or acts over time. Now, it's quite normal. It's nothing to be judged. And for those out on the outside of this, it's not for you to try and understand. This is for victims to understand that you still see this person as the bond that they started with you. And you understand that they may be doing something wrong. And you're trying to learn to differentiate between that. But as a protection and a survival mechanism, we do disconnect, we do dissociate, we pull away how we feel physically, emotionally, and we become like an empty shell, a robot, allow what to happen, and then bring our soul pretty much back into ourselves and we all go back to normal. But that's a survival instinct. That's so that you can be protected from what is happening, so you don't crash and burn while the trauma is happening. And now, because that's a protection mechanism, over time, if we have not spoken out about it, if we've not actually been honest with ourselves and said that this trauma has happened, we keep that survival instinct, we keep that trait. That's why as time goes on, as we become older, as we become teenagers, adults, way into our middle age, we really do struggle to speak out because we feel as if we've held on and we've created more bonds, and now more than likely the abuse has stopped. So we've created more of a connection with this person, even though we know the horrendous acts they've created. Now, again, this is nothing to blame yourself for. This is nothing to victim shame people for. This is something for them to have time to openly discuss, to freely not be judged, but to freely explain how they feel and to identify the actual trauma that happened. I have a lot of clients that do discuss that the predator is still involved in their life. And these are grown women and men who actually really struggle with identifying or coming out with how they actually feel about the situation. And when they start delving into the ideas of, well, I don't want them around me, I don't want them in my life, but if I remove them, then it's a very abrupt situation for the family around me, for the friends around me, for my children. And they're now going to know my history, my story. This is the hard thing, is that because people take their time with trying to heal and they don't have support networks around them trying to help them or making them feel comfortable to speak up, and they see other people treat this person amazingly because they don't know what's going on, it puts the victim deeper into a hole to actually be honest with themselves, to actually see the truth. And when it comes to the point they do want to speak out, they feel like they're going to destroy an entire chain of family, friendships, networks. And that may happen. And the reason why that may happen is because there are shit humans out there that will look at the victim and ask, oh, but you love them. I see you go to their house all the time. You're still friends with them. You allow your children out of them. Why do you go see them? How come you didn't speak out earlier? Why didn't you say something sooner? There are humans out there that exist, rather than saying, okay, I support you. What do we need to do to make some change? How do I need to help you? That's as simple as all it needs to be. But all of a sudden, this big repercussion because it's a matter of, oh, it affects me, it affects them, it affects... The victim doesn't get to actually just speak out freely and be supported. So I understand there are victims out there still suffering with the idea of, I haven't been able to freely speak out. And that the predators may still be in your lives. And that you believe that you know it's wrong, but you still don't know how to move on or push forward to make change. There is no right or wrong in this situation. You have to do what is right for you first. Now, please, I always say, if there are other children involved, please be vigilant. Please put them first. You now have a responsibility to them first. And as I've said before, be the help you wish you had, because at the end of the day, someone else could be saved from these situations. Don't disregard the predator as now safe, as now, oh, they don't do it to you anymore. You are no longer a child. You are no longer an adolescent. There are other children around. There are other adolescents around. Please understand that it is okay if you still have an emotional connection or feeling for the predator. I know that's really an awkward and hard conversation. And for those outside judging that is not your responsibility to judge. It is not for you to understand. But then also know that it's the same feeling as if someone says to you, this person you know is a predator, and you're like, oh, but you're doing the same thing. You're trying to justify that you love them, that they're a great human, they've done all of these amazing things, but they still can be a bad person. So our character gets challenged, our values get challenged, our heart gets challenged. So first, for the victims out there, please know that it's very normal and that it's part of your healing process to deal with those feelings and to be honest with yourself. Second, please protect others out there who may be in the shooting line of that predator. Even though they are no longer your predator, they could be someone else's. And for those watching from the outside, or people who are a part of the situation but that don't know what to do, just be support. Just be absolute support. Don't question. It's not for you to try and understand all the ins and outs, but it's for you to be there to support, to communicate, and to protect others. Protect other children, and protect the victims who are speaking out, even if they are no longer a child. If they are a grown adult with children, with grandchildren, they deserve to be supported and protected. It is not wrong to have feelings for the predator when you have been the victim for so long, but it's wrong to deny how you truly feel and to hide it from the world because you're afraid of what they're going to think of you. So please speak out, be open, and understand that it's as long as it takes, it's up to you. It's your journey. No one can tell you otherwise.